My name is Harmony Bryant, and today I'm going to be talking about performative activism. More specifically, how Black Lives Matter became a trend in 2020. I am in the 1010 English class, and this is my speech. On June 2nd, when Blackout Tuesday by social media, 28 million people posted a black square on Instagram in solidarity with Black Lives Matter movement. But only 13 million people signed a petition to arrest the cops that killed George Floyd. How is that possible? Well, I'll tell you. Performative activism happens all the time, but what really is the definition of performative activism? The definition of performative activism is a term referring to activism done to increase one's social capital rather than because of one's devotion to a cause. In layman terms, that means if it benefits you, then you decide to talk about it. But if it doesn't benefit you, then you don't. You don't really care about the subject. You only care because it makes you look good. A lot of people who use performative activism would be celebrities or politicians because it makes them feel good or look good in a specific area, especially if that person is receiving a lot of backlash. Breonna Taylor unfortunately passed at the hands of cops, and her boyfriend went to jail. A lot of people at the time were not talking about Breonna Taylor's effect and what that had on the Black community, specifically Black women. It always seems as though when Black women die at the hands of a police officer, that it doesn't get talked about and it gets swept under the rug. Or people make sayings or tweets on Twitter saying, "say her name," filled with or added on to whoever the Black woman was of the day. With George Floyd, there was a video that went along with it. So it was more solid in terms of how people felt about it and more in your face. You couldn't deny it. You couldn't see it. And it was everywhere on Twitter. It was a very violent crime that sparked the nation. And a lot of countries, even outside of the USA, like England and Britain, they went and protested because they felt as though it wasn't right. And everywhere was protesting, not just the city that it happened in Michigan. So, after the weeks passed by on Instagram, they slowly started filling with pictures of vacations or people back onto their normal lives. And then you begin to wonder, Breonna Taylor's family and George Floyd's family can't go back to what happened before. They have to always remind themselves of what's happening every single day that they're on social media or just day-to-day life. That type of information we cannot subside. But other people who it doesn't affect, people who use performative activism, they can post one post and then move on with their lives and go back to regular, which is why I feel as though Black Lives Matter unfortunately became a trend and not something that stuck. If, however, it was not a trend, people would not just post whatever they want to post on social media and then go back to whatever they're doing. It would be constant, and it would show in the numbers for petitions or other donations to the NAACP or to Black judges, Black lawyers, or people who were going to jail unlawfully because police officers just wanted to. This is very important to note. I'll admit, it is very encouraging and uplifting to hear and say things about Black Lives Matter and to feel as though I'm supporting and contributing to a cause that's important to myself because of my skin color. But I do believe that some of it has been a decline lately. People are not posting as much as they were because they feel as though it's not trendy. At one point, people even mimicked the orange drawing challenge where a person writes Black Lives Matter and they tag 5 other people and then they do the same. What does that represent to white people? Do white people think that they can just post hashtag Black Lives Matter and people think that that's okay and that's all white people need to do to be in solidarity with us? Or should we be signing petitions and going out to protest and actually doing things that take us forward and not just keep us in the present? A social media post does nothing, especially just a hashtag. If you're white, it's very important for you to be as strong as you can in the Black community if that's what you choose to do, if that's the side that you want to do. If you want to support Black people, then you have to make sure you do sign petitions and make sure that you're being aware and staying informed and telling your other peers, your white peers, to do the same. A hashtag saying Black Lives Matter is performative if there's no action behind it. Generation Z, which is the generation that I'm in, it prides itself on being socially progressive through nationwide movements, demanding, for example, stricter gun control, climate change, and reform with LGBTQ rights. The passion for the environment and animal rights cause feels authentic and energetic. But when it's Black Lives Matter, it seems odd that white people don't understand systematic racism or just how severe police brutality was until now, which begs me to differ that if social media wasn't around, how many people would actually be supporting Black Lives Matter? It's a mystery, honestly. But I will say, if you are a person who is not Black, person of color or white, please do not just post a Black Lives Matter hashtag. Actually put something behind your hashtag that has value, that can bring and uplift something to a Black person if you support Black people. That is the closing of my speech. My name is Harmony Bryant, again from 1010 English class, and have a great day.